Nerdy Scribbler. Welcome back to the Nerdy Scribbler, my scribblings. It is I, your host, Anthony D'Elia. Today I will be continuing the tale of two Iikyallos. Before we start, just a reminder to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribble if you're new here. So let's jump right back in. Iikyallo had just left Scotty in Mount Rekindling in hopes that her colorless would kill him, but she wasn't going to let her colorless be the only ones who could kill. If she was ever going to rule the Crystal Forest, she would need to be a threat. She had to get past her fear of killing. She sent the cadaverous twin she had up to the top of the inverted waterfall. The inverted waterfall was one of the many oddities of the Crystal Forest. Even before her curse started to unravel the land, the inverted waterfall's rapids flowed towards the sky. No one knew why they did this. It had just always been that way. The currents were strong enough to pull anyone in it to the top against gravity's will. Iikyallo placed the twin in a levitation spell and sent him up to where the water turned to mist. It was hard to breathe up there, so it would be difficult to retrieve the twin even if anyone knew his whereabouts. Iikyallo flew off in search of any of the guardians, determined to put an end to one of their lives. Back in the void, good Iikyallo paced back and forth worriedly. She knew she had to get back to the forest, but she couldn't just leave the poor cadaverous twin alone in the void. She approached him, but the timid twin ran off at the sight of her. So she tried to mingle with the Voidians, but they quickly became hostile towards her, blaming her for abandoning them in the void to fend for themselves. Good Iikyallo felt lonely. With the knowledge she had before the two Iikyallos split apart, she may be waiting for a long time before her bad counterpart came to visit. She let out a long sigh. She began practicing her light energy manipulation magic. Not being able to use dark energy creation magic at all was going to take some getting used to, but she had time now. She had to tap into the core of manipulation magic, hand gestures, and magic words. Manipulation magic uses light energy to perform and takes longer to cast due to its restrictions of verbal and physical gesturing, while creation magic was fast to cast but at the cost of spiritual dark energy. The less spiritual energy a person has, the weaker they get. Good Iikyallo deduced that bad Iikyallo would be forced to use her energy a lot more now, since she could no longer wield light energy. Without thinking about the time she'd be spending, good Iikyallo began practicing. Back in the forest, as bad Iikyallo surveyed the forest from the skies, she could see her colorless running wild, taking new forms and manipulating the landscape. It warmed her heart to see them having fun. She began having thoughts of what she had accomplished. Severing her ties with the Guardians had given her a new purpose. Always a servant, and now a mystery. It was only a matter of time before she decided she would reveal herself as the cause of the forest's downfall. She imagined the Guardians trembling in fear as she rose above them, threatening their beloved seeing tree. She would make it a show, surround them with her colorless, taunt them, make them feel insignificant to her power, and then destroy their home. Watch them collapse into throes of sorrow, but she would mercifully put them out of their misery. After all, she needed to be better than them. She summoned her first two colorless Smoke and Snow.
Find the toad. I've decided that he will be my first kill.
Smoke and Snow nodded and dispersed, taking to the skies. Smoke turned into a hawk and flew off, and Snow created a small tornado under her feet to whisk her away. Bad Iikyallo watched her children until they disappeared along the horizon. And we'll stop there for this session. I hope you enjoyed the story as well as the artwork. Here we have the previously mentioned Smoke and Snow.
Darling, aren't they? How come I barely got to speak in this episode?
It was more of a narrative experience this time around, lots of thoughts and feelings.
Lots of thoughts and feelings. If you want to explain so much, then why haven't you given the names of the Guardians or the cadaverous twins,
Well, I was going to when I tell the story from Scotty's perspective.
From his perspective?
Well, since you're the villain, I thought it'd be cool to detach you from all of the characters and have a more narcissistic tone throughout.
Narcissistic. Sure. You'll be hearing from my agent.
Okay. So be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment, and you can follow me on Patreon if you want to see the channel flourish. Until next time.